to my channel. If this is your first time of being here, you're welcome and thank you for clicking this video. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Let's move this channel forward. Do not only subscribe, please hit that notification button so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that I've talked with my friends since moving here and getting married, and it's been a question that I know some of you are asking about living here in Canada. So today we'll be talking about finding love in Canada. I wanted this video to be out around Valentine's Day, so I'm kind of glad that I'm living up to it. So yeah, if you have questions about living in Canada or plans to immigrate to Canada and you're wondering, will I be able to find love? How can I find love? What kinds of people are there? Where do I find love? Like how do I build a new network of friends? Like there's all these questions around creating new relationships. If you're looking for answers to some of these questions that may be on your mind, keep watching this video. Okay, now here's the thing. When you move to Canada and you are trying to settle in, just like a baby, you're learning to do things again. Like you're learning the new culture. You're learning how to communicate with people. You're learning how to build relationships. And in trying to immerse yourself in the culture, you're learning new ways of doing things, including dating. One thing I would say you have to remember is that the dating culture from wherever it is you're coming from may be different from what we have here. So for example, I'm a Nigerian woman who has seen back home how aggressive our men are in wooing a woman. A man can park his car, run after you, chase you, and even when you tell him to leave you alone, he still tries and tries until he gets your attention. Or maybe there's someone in your school who's interested in you, and you've told them that you're not interested, but they still keep trying, and finally you guys get a date, right? Life might not be so easy here when it comes to dating, because a lot of the time men around here may not be doing that, because being persistent when a woman has said you should leave them alone may be one call away from you being charged with maybe sexual assault. You do not have to be physically involved with someone to be sexually assaulting them. So that's the situation we have here. So that brings me to say that dating here, a lot of the time, the men are very laid back because of how things are here in Canada. And that's why the first thing I'm going to say is that dating in Canada is hard. At least that's what I experienced. I've heard people say that dating in Canada is easy. Well, it depends on what your situation is. If you're a student, it may be easier for you because school is a more social environment. So it's so much more easier to build a relationship in a setting like that. So for me, I had to meet people through friends and events and things like that. So if you're looking to actively date or create friendships, I would say sign up with websites like Meetup, where you can actually find things that you're interested in. So say photography or poetry, book reading, skiing, hiking, I don't know, just find anything that interests you. You can join different groups and you get notified whenever those groups are meeting. That's a great way to meet. Also, networking events are great. Also, if you go to church is a great place to meet people. And sometimes you might just have to rely on your family and your friends to find love. One thing that I did when I was finding a relationship was using dating apps. So when I was using dating apps, I tried a different bunch of them because I'm naturally curious. I tried eHarmony, Black Love, I can't remember what that's called. I tried Plenty of fish. I almost called it pot of fish because for the longest time that was what I thought it was. Plenty of fish. Match.com. I did a bunch of them. If I were to do it again, I would just prefer to go to places where I can actually physically meet people. I do not think that dating apps are safe. I'm glad that I did not get in the wrong hands. It wasn't exactly pleasant per se. It was still hard just finding someone who was, up to par. It wasn't. Although I have to say, I remember this one person I met on eHarmony. He was a Nigerian gentleman. He was Igbo, or he's Igbo. He was like the perfect African dream, engineer, hardworking, everything. Had a very good head on his shoulder. He lived in the States. He visited me a couple times in Toronto, but for some reason, I just felt like, as much as he was a great guy, he wasn't the right person for me. And he also felt that, she's a great girl, but there was just too much. It wasn't just going to work. The distance was definitely one of the main things, and I wasn't going to up and leave Canada to the States for nobody. That was one thing for me for sure. He knew my life was here, and he was good with that. We had a conversation and we knew where we're at, and we decided to just move on, and that was really something that I respect about him till this day. He's married now, we're both married, and I'm sure he found what he was looking for. So, not to say that good things cannot come out of dating sites, but I will not be recommending any dating sites to you when you're finding love in Canada. I'll just say stay safe. If you decide that you want to go with dating apps, you have to be careful. Do not give these people your home address. Meet them in an open place. When you have a date, make sure someone you live with, someone who you're close with, knows where you're going. Another dating experience I had in Toronto was with this gentleman who lived in France and then New York and was new in Toronto as well. And he was wonderful black guy. I was really smitten by him, but I was taking things slow. I guess I was too slow for him, and the next thing was we went like on 3 speed dates in 1 week, and I started waking up to no more Mademoiselle text messages, and I was like, hey, what's going on? It's like this boy is starting to ghost me. And I reached out to him and I'm like, hey, what's up? And he said he wanted us to talk. I knew it was bad news, so I kind of like just prepared my mind for it. He told me that he wasn't sure about the direction in which the relationship was going, or something like that. And I wasn't disappointed by that, because in my mind, I was just so realistic, like, okay, this guy is in his 20s. He just came to Canada and he's just been here for like 4 weeks, and I'm one of the girls that he's like really going on dates with. I'm like, he hasn't seen nothing yet. Summer was yet to come, and when summer comes, everybody goes naked. It's just hard. I didn't want to be dating someone who had not really seen enough to know that, okay, he wants to be with me. So in my mind, I was like, oh, okay. He really set he set the bar for me in terms of what I wanted, because at some point I lost hope that, I wasn't going to find good men in Canada. One thing I want you to know for sure is that there are all kinds of people in Toronto, and boy, you'd be surprised. See, the one that you like, they don't want to be in a committed relationship. Imagine if you're dating someone and you don't let them know where your head is at, like you want to be forming cool, calm and connected, and you're like, okay, let's see where you will date them for 5 years, you will have 2 children for them, and they will still not be with you. So personally, I would say when you meet someone and you guys are starting a relationship, it's not pressure, but let them know what you're expecting. this is why I'm going into a relationship, especially when you're in your 20s, you're getting to your early 30s, you're not 18 anymore, you're not 22 anymore. So you have to start dating with a purpose. And a man who wants to be with you, he'll tell you that, you know what, babe, I really like you, this is how I feel about us. Yes, let's, give it time, let's get to know each other, let's enjoy getting to know each other, and then we'll see where this goes. Not someone who, when you tell that, okay, you want to be in a committed relationship, they're like, they want to see other people. There are people who are like that, and it's okay if that's what you want to, but if that's not what you want, it's just best to bring it up to them, because if you don't, they're just going to assume that, okay, I didn't ask her out, because that's how it is. Like, you're just together and nobody is having the conversation about intentions. So what are you doing? If you're an African woman like me, that's not happening. If at all, after 3 months, bros, how far? What's going on with us? You really should have that conversation. I remember going on a date with someone my sister introduced to me, and I thought he was a nice gentleman. He was Jamaican, and he took me to the Jamaican restaurant. I'd never had Jamaican food before, and then we go in. Apparently, his friend owned the restaurant, so he goes in the back. I go grab a seat, and he comes back. Next thing is they bring the food, and I was like, okay, I don't remember ordering. So he said, oh, he ordered for us. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, food is something that I'm very particular about. You don't order for my food unless I tell you what I like. Like, my husband can order for my food. He knows me like that. But like, it's the first date, you don't know me, so don't do that. In my head, I'm like, just turned off, because I don't know if I'm going to like it. And I'm sorry, I'm not so open-minded when it comes to my palate, because I'm too adventurous. My belly suffers it. I'm that sensitive. So anyhow, I ate the food, I didn't like it, but that was it. Oh, and then even when we're entering the restaurant, this gentleman goes ahead of me, and I was thinking he was going to open the door, because while we were going out, he opened the car door for me. So I thought, okay, he was going to hold the door, but the door was closing in on me, and I had to like hold the door. So I was already like turned off by that. Anyhow, that was that. I wasn't interested in him, and I let him know I wasn't. And then I went on another date. I met this gentleman on Plenty of Fish. Before we even started the date, this guy already started talking sexual with me. And by the time we went on the date, I was going to order for food, and the food I was ordering was more expensive than what he was having. And he let me know his money problems very fast. It was one of those dates where, the guy is just like talking, and you're just like, yeah. Like, he told me everything. I could write a book about his family history. And everything he said about his family was not good. Even if I wanted to date that guy, I would not have any respect for his family at all. So yeah. And then after the date, he said if my lip gloss wasn't cleaned off after I'd eaten, he was going to kiss it off my lips. Oh boy, I wasn't having it that day. It wasn't a very nice date. And then another one, I also made this one from Plenty of Fish. We're only talking on the phone, and then he wanted phone sex just after how many conversations on the phone. Whew, that was hard. And then there was this one. So this guy put only a picture of his face on the app. He was from the Caribbean. Like, he was great. Like, he sounded really good. His voice was really good. By the time this guy comes to get me for a date, he comes out of the car, and I tell you, it was like a David and Goliath situation. This guy was huge. And he was almost 300 pounds from what he told me. So like, he comes out of the car, and I was in shock. I kind of like was startled, and he noticed. And he was like, oh yeah, I guess he it wasn't what I expected to see. I was like, yeah. I felt like maybe my reaction popped out his insecurity. I don't know, but anyways, he had every reason to brag to me about the kind of women he has dated, how he prefers older women because they have no stress. And then he was wearing all these bling bling chains. I was just not having it. So anyhow, that date ended and that was how he was blocked. They all get blocked. And then finally I met this gentleman, Nigerian, who looked a little different from the person I saw, but well, he was the one. He lost a few pounds. Yeah, he was the only person I heated things off with that I met on Plenty of Fish. We went to this Nigerian restaurant, we ate, we had a good conversation. I got the sense that, you know, for a while he was bothered about my reaction when I saw him because he looks like they're slightly different, and I'm Nigerian. My face betrays me every time. Like, I wish my face didn't have to express what I was feeling in my mind. It was just ridiculous. But anyhow, we had a relationship for a short time, but well, that didn't work out. It wasn't something that was meant to be, I guess. Yeah, that was that. So I dated one real person, one actual real person. So yes, I met my husband after he had gone to University of Toronto for his master's degree. At the same time, my sister was rounding off her master's degree. So I guess some things are just meant to happen, and I'm so blessed that I have what I needed, and it actually came at a time when I wasn't looking. I didn't expect it to happen, and God just blessed me, you know. So do not give up hope. Some people have been here for so long and they haven't had, you know, the opportunity to find love. I've only been here almost 4 years and I have. Everybody's journey is different. You might have it easier, you know, who knows? So I wish you good luck in finding love in Canada if you are looking. And if you're yet to be here, do not worry, do not feel the stress, but it's real. Just trust timing, trust God throughout the process, okay? Keep your mind open to meeting people. And I'm sure in due time you'll find what you're looking for. Well, that'll be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. Feel free to share this video if you like, and give this video a thumbs up if you like. So please subscribe to my channel. Let's keep the numbers going up, and also so we do not miss any videos. Leave me comments in the comment section and I will be reading them and I'll be responding to you personally. I'm looking forward to engaging with you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, bye bye.